Yes, indeed. We in the building. Y'all know what it is. E.T. Ali, Ramadan Mubarak. Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We in the building. Black Dollar Vibes. I pray everybody is having a blessed Ramadan. I just came to check in briefly. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to be here long today. You know what I'm saying? The 15th of March, middle of Ramadan. Full moon, bloody moon. It was raining this morning too, hard. Real hard. I don't know where you at, you know what I'm saying? If you gonna tune in live, if y'all watching now or later, you feel me? But it was a heavy downpour, and they say Allah answers prayers in the rain. So yeah, we doing the best we can to sustain and maintain. Before I get into the dissertation this morning, on the Sabbath day, I'm gonna open with the Fatiha in the name of Allah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, Master of this day of judgment in which we now live. Thee alone we worship, and thine aid we seek. O Allah, guide us to your straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favors, and not the path of those upon whom your wrath is brought down, nor the ways of those who go astray after they have heard thy teachings. Ameen. SubhanAllah, family, we in the building. You feel me? Y'all know I had to take a hiatus for Ramadan and all that. You did. But we here now. I'm going to just tap in briefly, like I said, you know what I'm saying? We're going to do it a little different today. Normally, I will, you know what I'm saying, play some music first. We will start with that. You know what I'm saying? I will go ahead and play some new material I've been working on, you know what I'm saying, that I've been making available for the public that's circulating. You dig? That's how we would normally do it. But today, I'm going to start with the message, and then we might play some music on the back end. You feel me? So while we get ready to lock in full effect, I'm going to go ahead and pull up some intros. You dig? Sounds of the new material we working on, Black Dollar Vibes. Y'all be on the lookout too. Fourth quarter, we coming. You know what I'm saying? Just side note on the back end. You feel me? It's been a beautiful first quarter. All praises due to Allah. Second and third quarter, we going to be locked in. Fourth quarter, we going to make sure it's time to lock out. You feel me? On all naysayers, disbeliever, and the like. So yeah, man, we going to go ahead and set the vibe, set the tone, get the mood right. Inshallah. And I'm going to go ahead and do what I'm supposed to do in the name of Allah. Salaam Alaikum, family. Peace to everybody that's checking in and that's going to check in. Ramadan Mubarak, like I said, you know what I'm saying? It's been a blessed Ramadan. For me personally, it's my 15th Ramadan. You see what I'm saying? It's my 15th Ramadan since I took my Shahada and said, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. I bear witness to that there is none worthy of worship but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. Muhammad is the seal of the prophets. You feel me? So since I took my Shahada some 15, 16 years ago, you dig, I've been locked in, and Ramadan is always a beautiful experience. You know what I'm saying? MashaAllah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can see it, but if you look close, you can see this mark on my forehead. That's called a sajda mark or a prayer mark. Because it's a lot, we go into prostration. We put our face to the earth. So in doing so, sometimes you get a mark and the believers recognize, oh, they've been deep in sajda, they've been deep in prayer. You know what I'm saying? So manifesting internally and externally, you can see what it is. You can feel the vibe. You can feel the aura. You know what I'm saying? And when Ramadan ends, may we all live to see the end of Ramadan. Inshallah, we come out better than we came in. You know what I'm saying? More productive, more electric, more thorough, more focused, less confused. You know what I'm saying? More united, stronger than ever. You feel me? Yeah, man, you know the vibes. I'm the Lion King, family. Yeah, man, we got the same barber and all that. You know what I'm saying? Me and the lion, you know what I'm saying? The Lion King. Y'all see the mane, you know what I mean? Gotta do my thing when I jump on this screen. You know what I mean? Small things to large kings. Peace, familia. Peace to everybody that's checking in. I see you, family. I appreciate the love, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? Whether you in Ohio, like I said, it was raining this morning. I don't know if it's raining wherever you at. I know everybody that's watching, listen, ain't from Ohio. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody wherever you at. Like I said, Allah answers prayers in the rain. You know what I'm saying? So make it count. You feel me? We in the middle of March, family. Y'all know about that blood moon. Some of y'all might know what's up. You feel me? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get your prayers in, family. Allah answer them prayers in the rain. You hear me? You dig? Real live. So yeah, y'all know it was just a full moon, lunar eclipse, bloody moon. You know that bloody moon represents judgment, especially in Islam. In the middle of Ramadan, it's a full moon, bloody moon, lunar eclipse. Happy birthday, family, to everybody that's on the check-in. I appreciate all the love and support that we get. You know what I'm saying? And in this eclipse cycle, we can manifest things. You know what I'm saying? We can redeem ourselves, or we can just replenish and get stronger. Regain strength and sustenance. You feel me? What's up, familia? Peace, familia. Love to everybody on the check-in, man. I appreciate it. Speaking of love and support and appreciation, to anybody that supported us in this digital era that we in, this transition, because I'm old school, you feel me? I'm CDs in the trunk, CDs in the backpack. For everybody that support us online, I appreciate you. For anybody that's ever donated, you know what I'm saying? Which mainly the main way to donate is through Zelle, because I don't use a lot of them other apparatuses. I don't apply them other applications, you know what I'm saying? I rock with Zelle, you dig? And I wish you well. So to anybody that's ever hit our Zelle, whether it's familia, whether it's friends, whether it's supporters, whether it's fellow believers, whether it's casual listeners, avid listeners, subscribers, or people that just, you know, whatever it is, I appreciate that from the heart, you know what I'm saying? Because them twos and fews make all the difference in the world. I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? And none of us could ever beat on law at giving. So what it is that we have, we require to give. That's one of the pillars of faith in Islam. Zakat, charity, you know what I'm saying? Along with fasting, along with belief in the last day. You know what I'm saying? Along with making salat, along with making our pilgrimage to Mecca. You know what I'm saying? All of these things. Yeah, belief in the law on the last day. Yes, sir. Like I said, shout out to everybody that's showing love. You know what I'm saying? On the comment side, if you bear with me. I took some notes, family, because you know how this goes. In this holy month, I see a lot of things that coincide, a lot of synchronicities, right? And I keep saying that 3 repetitively. I keep saying the 3. You know what I mean? And one of the 3s that I noticed that kept coming up in this holy month that I want to remind the believers of are the 3 most hated individuals in this life that we live, especially if you a believer or a knower, you feel me? The most hated men. 1, the man who has knowledge and gives knowledge to the ignorant. Why? Because the social engineers and the bloodsuckers of the poor, whatever name you want to call them, they don't want the masses of the people awakened. I ain't talking about hashtag woke. I'm talking about truly awakened, a real awakening. You feel me? They fear that, they dread that, because if the masses are enlightened, they can no longer be illuminated. For we are the true illuminous ones. No pun intended, no sacrilegious vibes, just on the righteous, on the sacred vibe. So if a wise man teaches the ignorant, he's threatening the power structure and the status quo. Most hated man. The second most hated man is a rich man who gives his riches to the poor. You know, the Robin Hood types. You know, the type that want to uplift their people, not just mentally, but in the physical. Because we live in a material universe. Tangible. We live in a transactional society. So if you or I have riches and or wealth, and we spread the wealth, then that upsets the status quo. But they can't be too upset, because in order for the economy to thrive, especially in a capitalist society, you need the dollar to circulate. You feel me? So they mad, but it's like they need you at the same time. It becomes a love-hate relationship. So the man who has knowledge and teaches the ignorant, most hated. The man who has riches and gives his wealth to the poor, most hated. And the third most hated man is the man to whom which the Holy Quran has been revealed. Because in that book is healing, is prescription. You know what I mean? It's the remedy for everything that we up against, everything that we go through, past, present, and future. It's science in the Quran that the scientists of this day are just now catching up to, just like the teachers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So the unwavering truth, you know what I mean? And the call that the Quran puts on us as human beings to stand up for what's right, to stand in the cause of Allah. You feel me? That's vital. And if you have the Quran in your head and your thought process and your understanding and in your heart, the way you feel, the way you interact, the way you engage, the way you move about, then you are a threat to society in this secular world where they want to make Satan's rule the order of the day. Remember, democracy. Democracy means demonic rule. Theocracy. Theo means God. Ocracy means rule. So theocracy means God rules. You see? So imagine if you got all three of those components. You're rich and you give to the poor. You're on your Robin Hood time. You got knowledge or wisdom and you give it to the ignorant, right? And they then become reformed. And you have the Holy Quran, the understanding of it, and do your best to live by the truth in the Holy Quran. You see, you a triple threat. You a three-headed dragon. You know what I'm saying? In this world where it's dragon wars and the mythos of the war in the sky. We war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spiritual darkness and the rulers of wickedness in high places. So this is what makes you dangerous. You see what I'm saying? But if Allah has his covering on you, then you shouldn't fear danger. I know I don't. Life is dangerous even if you a coward. So if you gonna stand up, at least you gonna die for something. At least you live for something greater than yourself. At least you striving to be better for yourself and an example for somebody else. So that was one of the threes that I noticed. Also in my study, I noticed the three sciences they don't want us to know. And I learned this before. But it's always good to refresh and review. And as we taught in Islam, the reminder benefits the believer. You feel me? If you know, you know. So the three sciences they never wanted us to learn. When I say they, I mean the social engineers. You know what I mean? Those who govern and oversee the society. The government and the shadow government. The policymakers, et cetera, the bankers, those who have corporate interests at the forefront of their agenda. They don't want us to know the science of mating, meaning meeting your counterpart from the opposite sex and copulating, cohabitating, and procreating, the science of mating. They never wanted us to know that. They never wanted us to know the science of business. Because in order to do business, you're vying for dollars. You're staying busy. You have your immediate best interest and bottom line and those in your cipher. You got that in mind first. And you're being as cordial as you can and diplomatic as you can in your negotiations to get the best deal for yourself possible, which can be very grueling and gruesome. So they didn't want us to know the science of business. So they got us out here talking about, oh yeah, I'm a business man. I'm handling business. No, it's business. It's busyness. And they never wanted us to know the science of busyness, of having an agenda, of following through on what we said we was going to do. And then the third science they never wanted us to know, beloved, they never wanted us to know the science of warfare. Why? Because once you know the science of warfare, you're more equipped to win the war. If you know yourself and your enemy, you just about got a 100% guarantee you gonna win the war. You feel me? So in knowing your enemy, you gotta be self-aware. You see what I'm saying? Because if we don't master self, we can't master anything else, including warfare and anything else. So like I said, that 3 has been ever repeating. It's been repetitive all through this Ramadan. 3 represents the number of trial, triangle, or triangulation, the triad, trying to figure it out. 3 being not an even number. You see what I'm saying? The third eye being open, the pineal gland, or some say the first eye, because it was the pineal melanin explosion that we all were conceived in. That's how all our life started, the same way. You feel me? So in this holy month, I'm just striving to get back into alignment. You know what I'm saying? Another 3 I noticed in the synchronicities. The 3 enemies of the Muslim. I thought this one was interesting. The shaitan, A'udhu billahi mino shaitan rajim. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. The shaitan and the shaitan is the number 1 enemy of the Muslim. The nafs, or the desires, the lower self, the cravings of the flesh, our vices, that which we lust after, that which we crave, right? The lower self is the second enemy of the Muslim, and then the third enemy is the dunya, or the world, because the world is full of distractions and things that can take us off our deen, off our Sadat al-Mustaqim, the straight path back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can be distracted by these things. You know, bright lights and all of that, loud sounds. You know how it go in this world we live in. And everything that's worldly, that has a gravitational pull on the human being, is usually something that is totally in opposition with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see? So that's 3 right there, the 3 attributes of God. The 3, I'm telling you, this 3 was ever repeated this Ramadan. The 3 attributes of God: life, light, and energy. We blessed with the gift of life. We made in God's image and after his likeness. We was given dominion over the fowl of the air, the fish of the sea, and every creeping thing that crawls. You feel me? So we got the gift of life. That's an attribute. That's a direct attribute of the Most High. Light. You see what I'm saying? Internally and externally. You see what I'm saying? That's why I got mantras like I'm the son of the sun, because I know my relationship with nature and the universe. You see what I'm saying? I know the hierarchy. And I know that the sun represents masculine energy, something that's unwavering in its loyalty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you got life, light, and energy. Energy is the electricity and the current that gives us life, that gives us the human experience, the soul effect, the spirit. You see what I'm saying? That which makes you and me individuals. You feel me? Our own personality or persona. The attributes of God. And then when we think about the Most High, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're taught in Islam that Allah has 99 attributes. And the attribute that was gracefully given upon me, or which I chose, or Allah universally allowed to be given to me, is the 78th attribute, Al-Muta'ali, the exalted one, or the most exalted, or the supreme one. Al-Muta'ali. You see what I'm saying? The 78th attribute, and they all beautiful, but that's obviously my favorite one. So if I submit my will to do the will of he who is most exalted, then I too, and my family also, will be most exalted. So we treat that attribute, and we treat that characteristic, and we treat that name that we carry with great pride. It's sacred. Muta Ali. That's why you hear me refer to myself to Mr. Muta Ali, Big Muta Ali. Ramadan Mubarak and Ramadan Kareem indeed, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's like 3, 4 threes right there. The 3 deeds that continue after death. I thought this one was interesting. Check this out. The 3 deeds that continue after death, meaning things that we did on earth that's gonna carry on after we gone. That's gonna still have a lasting effect even in our absence when we no longer here in the physical, right? Number 1, the righteous child who makes dua or prayer for his parents or for his or her parents. That's going to carry on even when the child passes on and when the parents pass on. You see what I'm saying? The dua, or the prayer, the supplication, the application to connect with Allah, who summons us. So once we submit, whatever we seek will be granted unto us, especially if we striving to live a pious and righteous life, right? The second one, again, this is deeds that carry on even after the so-called death of the human being. Charity is ongoing. So when you do a good deed, it's like Allah multiplies and compounds upon it exponentially. You know what I mean? Even in our strive to get closer to Allah, you take one step towards Allah, He takes 10 paces towards you. You see what I'm saying? The Bible puts it like, if you take one step towards God, He'll take 2 steps towards you. You see, so, man, I'm telling you, I could do this all day. I could go on and on and on. The third one in this list of 3s, again, 3 deeds that continue after death for the human being, that strive to submit to Allah. The knowledge that one has left behind, meaning the legacy. Your portfolio, your catalog, your and my gift to humanity, to society. The portfolio. What is it that we left behind? What was the writing? What was the teaching? What was the lesson? What was the message? What was the blessing? Because that carry on even after I'm gone. So that's what this is all about. Ramadan, one of the translations or transliteration is the fire that burns, the fire that purge. So let us get all the excess fat, let us get all of the debris, you know what I'm saying? The debauchery, the malarkey, the shenanigans, the chicanery. Let's get all that up off of us, beloved, and turn back to Allah. Be not distracted, be not fretful, be not fearful, be not confused, for Allah is not the author of confusion, you feel me? And don't think that just because it's Ramadan, that means you just gotta let people punk you and say whatever they want to say and just have their way. Because yes, Islam means peace, but in the words of Minister Farrakhan, sometimes you gotta break somebody's neck in order to establish peace. Prophet Muhammad had to wage war for this thing of ours called Islam. And Google says he is the #1 most influential man in recorded human history. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him forever and ever. You feel me? So yeah, in the name of staying focused, we're going to do just that. You feel me? Because nonsense is small things to large kings. Allah will allow something to manifest as you speaking on it. Allow yourself not to be distracted. Allow nobody to create a nuisance on or near your post, especially during the holy month. One thing I noticed in my 15 years practicing and observing Ramadan as a striving Muslim, right? I noticed that before Ramadan, it'd be a lot of fitna or drama, controversy, right? During Ramadan, now mind you, that's before Ramadan. During Ramadan, there's rumblings, right? You can kind of see the stage being set. And then after Ramadan, because we're taught that Satan or Shaitan is locked in the dungeon for the 30 days of Ramadan. So when Ramadan's over, and once we have Eid and we celebrate a successful Ramadan, inshallah, be it the will of Allah, mashallah, may Allah be pleased. Once we get on the other side of Ramadan, Satan and them devils come out of hell like, you feel me? They coming out of the dungeon like bats out of hell. I've noticed this every year during Ramadan. So be not distracted, because there's nothing new under the sun, especially the antics and the tactics of your my open enemy. It's nothing they can do. And as long as you got Allah in your heart, it's really nothing they can do for you. They cowards at best. Even if Allah allowed them to take your and my life, He says it flat out in the Quran. Think not of those who are slain in my way or in the name of Allah is dead. Think not of those who have been killed as dead. Nay, no, they live, but you perceive it not. They are alive, but you understand it not. This is repetitive throughout the Quran because the reminder benefits the believer. So don't get distracted. Don't let them play because you are a servant of Allah and you trying to exhibit peace and you trying to spread the wealth of health and knowledge yourself, don't let nobody play with you, because I know they ain't gonna play with me. And I'm raising a warrior. They ain't gonna be found playing with Lil E either. You feel me? Big Moot Ali and Lil Moot Ali. We don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? And in this life, we fall down 9 times, but we get back up 10. We built to win. It ain't over until Allah say it's the end. You feel me? So as we live in this day of revelation and prophetic fulfillment, let the trumpets blow. You know what I'm saying? The wars and the rumors of wars, let it go. Let the purging, let the process, let nature run its course, family. That's my point. Let us be found faithful. Let us be found grateful. Let us be found being persistent and consistent in that which we know we required to do. We supposed to be doing. You feel me? I got more. You feel me? Man, it's deep. I mean, I took so many notes, man. And I just kept noticing the three. I even read recently as I'm reading, you know, and studying hadiths, Allah doesn't like for the believer to read the Quran in less than 3 days. If you know about the Quran in Ramadan, we read the whole Quran during the month of Ramadan. It's divided into 30 sections. So every day you read a section or a juz, as we call it, in the Holy Quran, right? So here we are today. This is March 15th. I know we on the 16th Jews over here. Some people start a day before, a day after. But over here, we started February 28th. So it's March 15th, we on Jews number 16. But Allah don't want you to just rush through the Quran and skim through the Quran just so you could gloat and say, I've read it. Because you could put a book on a camel's back or on a donkey's back, a jackass as it's called in the scripture. But the donkey or the camel can't tell you what's in the book, but it can carry the book up to the top of the mountain. So that's how we are when we trivialize and skim through the scriptures. Astaghfirullah. Let us be found really getting the nourishment from the scriptures, the teachings. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Man. So y'all talked about the 3. So like I said, that 3 was ever repetitive. What's this one right here? It's 3 things that, here go another one. The 3 things of life or nature that don't care who you are or what you are or what you have, right? 3 things that don't care about none of this superficial stuff. Time, don't care about how much money you got, don't care about how much wisdom you got, don't care about how much physical strength, how much valor, confidence, and self-esteem you got. Time don't care about me and you. It ain't no favoritism with time. Death don't care about me or you, what we got going on. When it's time to go, it's time to go. And truth don't care. Truth is gonna be truth no matter who it bear witness against. And a real truth bearer speaks the truth. And sometimes you can speak the truth and they could bear witness against you. As a truth bearer, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes I tell the truth and it's like, man, I know this apply to me too. Let me tighten up. Let me straighten up. Let me clean up in the name of Allah. For his glory and for my betterment. Lest I suffer detriment. You feel me? So those 3 things don't care about no big eyes, no little U's. If you the leader of the crew, if you got the drip, if you got whatever you got, the blicky with the switch, time don't care about that, death don't care about that, truth don't care about that. So let us get back to and let's stay attached to what's real. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only reality. I've been talking for about a half hour. We ain't gonna be here much longer. I just got a couple more points I want to make, inshallah, before we get up out of here. You feel me? To remind you, if you didn't know, the first 10 days of Ramadan represent mercy. May Allah have mercy on those of us that striving. It might be days where we come up short. It's okay. Allah allow you to make up days. If you were unable to fast, if you were unable to make all your salats, you could give to a homeless person. You could feed somebody. You could give your clothes away. You know what I'm saying? In the times of the scripture, they said you could free a slave. Okay, you could put some money on somebody's books. We all know somebody that's locked up, or shoot them some bail money. It's many ways that we could go about trying to rectify our shortcomings, because it truly is the intention that's most important. The matters of the heart is what counts the most. So let's not put the ritual over the righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Let's not miss the principle getting caught up in the ritual, because the principality is where the treasure is. You know what I'm saying? That's where our true salvation lies. So yeah, the first 10 days of Ramadan represent mercy. Let us be merciful with each other. Don't let nobody play on your post, but we ain't gotta just, the first resort don't have to be to rip somebody's head off and put your foot in there, you know what. I'm trying not to cuss. It's Ramadan, beloved. I'm trying not to cuss on this live stream. You understand? Because anybody that know me know, no curses in my verses, but man, listen. And lately it's been curses in my verses because I had to remove the filter. A whole nother story for a whole nother day. But my point is, let us be merciful with each other as we strive to gain Allah's mercy, which he only gonna give to who he choose to. Allah says his mercy is for everybody, the just and the unjust. But his wrath is for those he select. Think about that. The mercy, I mean, everybody get mercy. Even if you ain't looking for it, even if you feel like you don't deserve it, he gonna give you mercy and give you time to, you know what I'm saying, get our act together, get our things straight. Excuse me. But mercy has an expiration date, and the wrath is for a select few. So let us, embark upon the mercy. The second 10 days of Ramadan, the second set of 10 days. 1 through 10, mercy. 10 through 20, forgiveness. You see what I'm saying? And I know that can be hard, speaking to self first. You know what I mean? To forgive and forget, or to, even if you don't forget, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to stay stuck in that place to where we get stagnant. You don't have to sit in it and sulk in it, lest we hold ourselves back, lest we become victims of arrested development and all that jazz music, which is unhealthy for the human being, especially if we striving to be of the righteous. You see what I'm saying? So let us be found extending grace and forgiveness to each other, because we all need forgiveness and mercy from Allah. Then the last 10 days, 20 through 30, represent freedom from the fire. Freedom from the hellfire. That's back to that purging. That's back to that fire. See, fire changed the composition of a thing. It changed the chemistry. The internal and the external optics of a thing. Fire changed you. Let us be those that get purified by the fire rather than scolded by it. And the only way we can do that is just strive to be one with Allah. You know what I'm saying? We overcomplicate it because we really don't want to do the work, but it's really simple. Life is a lot more simple than we allow it to be a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking to you and I'm speaking for me in the name of Allah. You know what I'm saying? Let us be more appreciative and make the best out of this temporary gift that we have called life. Because once it's over, family. You feel me? One of the things that we do as Muslims, especially in the month of Ramadan, bringing reconciliation among believers is better than the first 4 pillars of our faith in Islam as Muslims. Let me repeat that. Bringing reconciliation, squashing beef. You know what I'm saying? Ending grudges. Putting a cease to vendettas that might be, especially in the ummah or in the community of believers as Muslims, right? Bringing reconciliation, oneness, forgiveness among believers is better than the first 4 pillars of our faith in Islam as Muslims. Now, what are the 5 pillars of faith? Prayer, or making salat. We make salat 5 times a day. We should be striving to, definitely anyway. Fasting, especially during the month of Ramadan. Zakat or charity, which is required in every religion, especially the Abrahamic faiths of monotheism. You see what I'm saying? Pilgrimage or Hajj, us taking our journey to Mecca, over in what they now call Saudi Arabia, going to the Masala, you know, the main masjid on the planet, which has sacred meaning, scientific meaning, mathematic purpose for why that's the location, which is a whole nother subject. At some point, we can get into that. But that's one of our pillars of faith, actually going there, you know, kissing the Kaaba, the black stone. The black stone in this world of white supremacy is interesting that it's a black stone. The stone that the builders rejected, which will be the cornerstone of the new world, representing the original man. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. That's what that is. That's what that, you feel me? That's what type of time that's on. So yeah, and then of course the fifth pillar of Islam, belief in Allah and his messenger and the day of judgment. Speaking of the day of judgment and the final hour, like Lauryn Hill said, you could get the money, you could get the power, just keep your eyes on the final hour. In the Nation of Islam, family, we taught that we are living in the day of judgment. We are taught that the day of judgment is a sequence of time. It's a period of time. It's not a 24-hour cycle. So as you look around, you see the earth being judged. You see the earth pushing back and judging that which is unnatural. You see human beings judging each other. You see people getting exposed, people's dark secrets coming to the light, skeletons falling out of closets. Why? Because we're living in the day of judgment. Now, once our flesh give up the ghost and we quote unquote die, because energy never dies, if you know, you know. And we go where we need to go, wherever we go, Allah will judge us individually. Alhamdulillah, true indeed. But don't think that heaven or hell is a place you gotta die to go to. Because before we die, heaven and hell is a state of mind. I could create heaven in my environment right now based on my thoughts. Or I could create hell right now in my environment based on my thoughts, which thoughts become actions. If they don't go from thoughts to words to action, sometimes it just go from thought to action. Sometimes it ain't no filter. Sometimes there is no obstacle course for the thought. That's for the impulsive among us, which Ramadan is for the rebel, for the sin-sick soul, that we may straighten up, get our posture together in the sight of Allah and in the company of the rest of humanity. You feel me? So that's what it's about, balance. Yeah, we gotta be peaceful, but don't lose your warrior spirit. Keep your warrior spirit, be war ready at all times, but don't make battle the first and call all the end all solution for every problem. And we can only do that by staying in the remembrance of Allah. So bringing reconciliation to people that are at odds is more beautiful and powerful and is rewarded more in the sight of Allah than the first four pillars of faith. For my fellow Muslims, you know that's deep. And even if you don't subscribe to Islam, I'm sure you can see the depth in it if you're a critical thinker. If you're a deep soul searcher and researcher. And you can see what I'm saying. It's crazy how, I'm telling you, it was storming this morning. I'm talking about loud thunderclaps. I started to go live, but I was praying, fasting. You feel me? We eat a meal called sahur before the sun comes up during Ramadan because we fast all day. So as I'm making my food, I woke my son up to make salat. He went back to sleep. Alhamdulillah. I was just up, listening to the rain, praying, fasting, meditating, reading scripture, listening to brothers and sisters speak about Islam, giving what we call dawah, spreading the truth, spreading the faith, and the message of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. You feel me? Later on today, I'm going to tap in with one of the classic vintage lectures from our great sister, Dr. Ava Muhammad, who transitioned, I believe that was 2022, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? One of the most potent and powerful sisters, not just in Islam, but in the world of scholarship and spirituality, period. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of prominent sisters, I was reading about the sister Fatima, or Fatima as some of us may pronounce it, who was one of the daughters of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him and her. And it says that Fatima was the 5th child of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And she was like the male version of her father. So much so that she was told that she would be the first to enter paradise. And soon after, her father, the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, ascended, and Allah returned him to himself. Fatima passed soon after that. She didn't even live to be 30 years old, family. But her life had more significance and meaning and value than some of us that live to be triple her age. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about how long we here, it's about what we do when we here. Look at an artist like Tupac. He was in the game from the age 20 to 25 when he died or when Allah took him. You feel me? And that 5 years, he did more than guys that's been around twice as long as him. Guys that's damn near twice his age. He outworking them from beyond the grave, even though he was cremated supposedly, but from beyond the realm of the afterlife. He still got his foot on the so-called competition's neck. See, that's how we live forever, family. Dear and fellow humanity, by living for that which is greater than self. That's how we live forever. That's how you get money, power, respect, and all of that you want. We are promised in Islam, according to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, that Allah will give us happiness, friendships, good homes, in every walk of life. We'll be able to relate on every crevice, corner, and facet on the planet if we put Allah first. That's what I'm standing on and striving to stand on, family. So yeah, I already been talking for 41 minutes and 41 seconds and counting this time to go, baby. I got to go. A couple more things I want to touch on. When you look at the Arabic, when you look at Ar-Rahman, the beneficent, Ar-Rahim, the merciful. Remember, family, while Allah is the beneficent and the most merciful, he's also the most vengeful and the most wrathful. Even in the Bible, the Christians and the Hebrews will tell you that God is a jealous God. So let us not be guilty of committing shirk or idolatry, polytheism, because this is truly the sin that Allah does not forgive for. You feel me? And it makes perfect sense why he would not forgive for that. Because if he's the all-encompassing, the all-seeing, the all-knowing, the giver of the gift of life and the causer of death, how dare we put something that he created or allowed us to make as his creation above him? Ooh, or try to make it equal with him. That could be a person, place, or thing, family. Because there's many things that we could put before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let us not be guilty of that. Let us take the second half of Ramadan to really lock in till it's time to lock out. You feel me? Second and third quarter after Ramadan, look for me, Marcus Garvey voice. Look for me, Tupac, me and my girlfriend voice. Fourth quarter 2025, look for E.T. Ali, Big Muta Ali. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Because it's Black Dollar and Muta Ali over everything, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So yeah, as I get ready to get up out of here, man, we gonna land this UFO. We gotta go. I got very much to do and very little to say, family. We're almost already an hour in. Let me do some math with you. It's 8 billion people on the planet, right? Roughly. It's 2 billion Muslims on the planet, roughly, and counting. That means that 6 billion of the people on the planet, 3/4 are non-Muslim, and 1/4 or 25% of the planet is Muslim. And out of all of us that coexist, just keep this in mind, especially my Muslims out there, because a lot of Muslims don't like when I say this, but Allahu Akbar. 144,000 is a very small number. It's smaller than 8 billion. It's smaller than 6 billion. It's smaller than 2 billion. And there ain't no description on who's going to be who, young, old, black, white, male, female. It's 144,000 souls that are worthy in the sight of Allah. It's a very small number. Don't get it confused. Don't get it tricked off the streets. Don't get yourself tricked off the streets or tricked out of your position. that Allah has blessed and given you and me. You know what I mean? So let's keep that in the front and the back of our mind. Keep Allah first. Keep Allah last. Think about Allah on your lunch break. You feel me? Be not of the losers. I don't want nothing but V's and W's, victories and wins. You understand me? That's what I'm on. That's what I'm talking about. So keep that in mind for all my Muslims out there. It may look like we the minority, but we really the overwhelming majority. Because if Allah is standing with you, you are the majority, despite how it look on paper. And those that don't believe, they'll have to bear witness, whether out loud or whether just inside, like, damn, they was right. Yeah, been right for a long time. I've been carrying this cross for a long time. So all my Christians out there, the Bible say, any man that will be my disciple must first deny himself, pick up his cross. That don't mean wear a cross on your neck. That don't mean go to church on Sunday. That don't mean Jesus died for us all and he paid for everything. He paid the way. No, he did not. That man said, pick up your cross, deny yourself, and follow the master back to our Father who art in heaven. So those of us that's been standing on the truth and the light and the life and the energy of Islam, we know what it's like to be castigated. We know what it's like to be ostracized, marginalized, ridiculed. And then we know the beauty and the magnificence of what Allah do too. That we also know. And that's going to reign supreme over everything. You know what I mean? In the end, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. So keep waiting. I'm waiting along with you, family. Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure I address everything. I had so much I wanted to say. You feel me? I've been enjoying my little hiatus too. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting us. Like I said in the beginning, everybody that checked in on the live, everybody that's going to see this on the playback. It gets greater later, as the wise man says. It gets greater later, familia. It gets greater later. And it's going to always do that in the name of Allah. So, yeah, before we get up out of here, I want to send a special shout out. Man, my condolences to the family of Angie Stone. Long live Angie Stone. That's crazy. You dig? If you know, you know. Long live Sly. If you know, you know. Roberta Flack. If you know, you know. Irv Gotti. And so many others, whether public figures or people that may have no significant name in the public, but you and I love them. You know what I'm saying? It's people that ain't make it to see this Ramadan. It's people that's passed during Ramadan. It's people that's not going to make it to see the end of this Ramadan. And it's those of us that won't be here next year when Allah bless the world with another Ramadan and another opportunity to get it right in this sin-sick world and this society that we live in. So, yeah, man, like I said, we going to get ready to get up out of here. I just wanted to make my presence felt, you know what I'm saying? Come through, say what I had to say. Bless the familia. Let me also say this to the brothers. As men, you know what I'm saying? I mentioned Fatima and, you know, the beauty of who she was and how exalted she is in the sight of Allah. That's an example for the sisters. But as brothers, we got examples too, and we need to be examples for each other. To my black men in particular, bro, we need to check on each other more, bro. Call you, hey, just check and see if they pulse is active. See if they got a heartbeat, man. Make a phone call, you know what I'm saying? Check on their health, mental health, physical health. You know what I'm saying? We all eat every day. Ask them, man, are you having a bowel movement daily? Because you know if you ain't having a daily bowel movement, you got blockage. They're calling it gut garbage these days. You know, Elijah Muhammad said eat 1 meal a day. The world looked at him like he was crazy when he said that in the early and mid 1900s, in the 20th century. Now they out here talking about OMAD, 1 meal a day. Where you get that Where you get it from? Free Durkee, yo. Salaam Alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. You feel me? Y'all know the vibes. But where y'all get it from, though? Y'all hate the tree, but you love the fruit. They exalt Malcolm X, but they don't want you to say Elijah's name. I think we know why. If you know, you know. the book of Malachi, the last book of the Bible of the Old Testament, before you enter into the New Testament, God ends by saying, "For behold, in the last day, I will send you Elijah before the great and dreadful day of the Lord." We are living in a time of fulfillment. We are living in the day of judgment. So let's make sure we're on the right side of history. And remember, Allah got a right hand and a left hand. So all that mercy and beneficence, yeah, it's the most beautiful thing you could ever experience. But he got another side too, and mercy has an expiration date. If you know, you know. And on that note, I'm going to do more and say less. We about to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but success, nothing but blessed by the very best. You feel me? Catch up if you don't know. If you know, you know the rest. You feel me? Yeah, alhamdulillah to the believers. Shout out to everybody that showed love on here. Shout out to anybody that, thought they was going to be a distraction or a deterrent. Man, we use all things for good for those who believe and are called according to his purpose. All things work out for good, familia. So yeah, we about to get ready to get up out of here. I got to go. I'm about to continue my fast. You dig? Make these salats, make my study, go deep within self on this Sabbath day, on this rainy day. You know what I'm saying? It was like 70 some degrees yesterday. It's supposed to be upper 60s, lower 70s today. So we gonna make the best of our time and our life in the name of Allah. Blessed Ramadan to the believers. I pray I see y'all on the other side, and be ready, because when it's time, it's time. You feel me? We see everything that's going on. I want to give a special shout out before we get out of here to Umar Johnson. It's crazy what we see that brother going through. It just goes to show how broken black families are. And it just goes how to show being a parent is more valuable than being a public figure. Because I could run around here trying to open schools, or I could just mentor the youth that I run into, which I've done. I could be out here talking about saving other people's children, but why would I neglect my child in the name of doing that? I could be running around out here talking about black queen this and black queen that, and because the black woman is the mother of civilization. But I'm also a man who's married a black woman. I'm also a man that's only ever been committed to a black woman. So my point is, sometimes these big name people, and Umar is a beautiful brother, shout out to his knowledge. But sometimes it gets to a point where you got to recognize the difference between symbol and substance. Some of these brothers and sisters, they beautiful symbols, but when you look under the hood, they lack in substance. You know what I'm saying? And Umar is the brother that was raised Muslim. Here we are in the month of Ramadan. And if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? People out here getting exposed. So I pray for all of us that's diligently and earnestly trying to find our way back to Allah. And those of us that do it with or without applause, with or without some illustrious studio audience, with or without millions of followers, with or without millions of dollars, we doing it because it's right. We winning already. But the rest of y'all gonna bear witness in the end, who Allah decreed to really win. That's what it's about. All this diet consciousness in the name of stay woke. If you grew up how I grew up, you know the difference between this and that. Shout out to them over there, but this ain't that. You feel me? So let them do that. We gonna do this in the name of Allah. You know what I'm saying? People looked at Andrew Tate as this. I had people talking about, man, he might be the Mahdi. Really? This guy that the social engineers picked, the man that controlled the machine picked this guy for their own political purposes and agenda, and then he denounces Islam during Ramadan. You can't make it up. The Kevin Gates of the world, so many. You got guys out here talking about they Muslim, but they want to share their zawja. Muslims don't play swinger relationships. Muslims don't play homosexuality. Muslims don't do. You will die about my wife, bro. Wallahi. So I don't know. I be seeing a lot of stuff out here, and I ain't got a heaven or hell to put nobody in, just like y'all ain't got a heaven or hell to put me in. But I know the straight path, and I know a hypocrite when I'm looking at one. So let us strive to not be in the company and in the category of the hypocrite nor the disbeliever, because they will suffer a great and humiliating torment when it's over. If you know, you know, soldier. Cleveland's original young general, I salute the street soldiers. Huh? I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me for these superior facts. They call me E.T. Ali, and we gonna leave it at that. But before I go, I'm gonna play a couple songs, you feel me? Y'all know what's going on. You thought I wasn't gonna play no music? I got to play at least a couple songs now, you feel me? We gonna go ahead. This the latest one I did. I'm gonna just play 3 and we out of here. This bombs in Ramadan. Some of y'all heard it, some of y'all maybe not. Oh, Salaam Alaikum, family. Shout out to Jomo too. Best in the Midwest. Best in the Midwest. Ramadan Mubarak. Microphone master, 80 bar bonanza. Heart of a lion with the soul of a panther. I'm sorry I said he fasted today. Alhamdulillah, Rabbi Lamin. My grandma or the laugh thereof. But all we know is masking gloves, get it back in blood. I'm the diamond in the mud. Who was looking for the plug? Other way, USA will feel stronger than the love. And respect means everything. Niggas got for way less. Couldn't afford the Jordans, took me to pay less. Streets taught me how to play chess, how to say studying the hustle. No paycheck to paycheck. Pops taught me how to say less and demonstrate more. Being a boss is in my blood, need I say more? Even before we kill carnivores, eat way more. $1 million cash type of shit I used to pray for. Body snatchers, grabs, you niggas might not find you. Skinny niggas with no strap, they might try you. 7-foot niggas get chopped down to 5'2". If your father raised you, record labels won't sign you. Guess they figure that you less likely to sell your soul. And they know you mama's boy niggas is easy to control. School to prison, private, my nigga, I've been down that road. Now I speak the truth to the youth, so they don't have to go. UAP poetry, UFO flow, middle fingers in your whole face like Stone Cold. No bald head, it's the nigga with the afro. Like to be shitty, so I act the whole asshole. Switch, heartbeat, my shades of concrete. Switch styles, 99 times on 9 different beats. See no rap niggas coming for my title. We are not the same, your idols are my rivals. My heartbeat, my shades of concrete. Switch styles, 99 times on 9 different beats. I don't see no rap niggas coming for my title. We are not the same, your idols are my rivals. No pussy footing and I'm never half-stepping. Nigga, I'm the coolest since baby face Edmonds. I am not a sheep, no rabbi or a reverend. Jagged edge with the flow, I walked out of heaven. But you know that mother play follow me anywhere I go. Third eye open like Slick Rick. It never closed, make them check in like Trick. No fly song, I'm a head honcho, but Cleveland, no hydro. Black dollar holler shit, deeper than melanin. Niggas ain't ready for war, they full of estrogen. Government trafficking babies for the hell of it. Meanwhile, these rappers is fighting to stay relevant. $5,000, I'm not waiting for the president. Niggas waiting on pill gall, they need their medicine. Free Palestine is reparation seasons. No, I really mean it. Bitch, I'm from Cleveland. Oh, bitch, I'm from Cleveland. You know, bitch, I'm from Cleveland. Oh, bitch, I'm from Cleveland. You know, and switch. Black Dollar vibes. At your rapper by the throat. Tic tac toe. Hold up, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch your rapper by the throat. Bitch, I'm playing duck, duck, goose on this microphone. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch your rapper by the throat. Bitch, I'm playing duck, duck, goose on this microphone. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch your rapper by the throat. Bitch, I'm playing duck, duck, goose on this microphone. East Coast, West Coast, and I need a South beat. Best in the Midwest, I dare you niggas doubt me. 216, I'm the face and the mouth. Nigga, I am really him, and I don't know what clout means. I don't know what drought means or what's a writer's block. Insane, pain, gang, been flame. I write a lot.
Stepping on you, leprechauns, exposing you, Decepticons. Niggas selling lots of revolutions, never tell a bus. I'm the naked truth, and you rappers so deceptive. Niggas ain't deep, they perspective, not impressive. Don't get it twisted and never disrespect. I can speak life on my words on murder weapons. No joke, no lack of black life does matter. Never been a broke rapper. I don't like woke rappers. Niggas say about my life. This that street conscious. This the biggest thing since slavery's abolishment. Make me drop bombs during Ramadan. Make me drop bombs during Ramadan. Don't make me drop bombs during Ramadan. They don't really want the smoke and I put that on my Quran. Don't make me drop bombs during Ramadan. Don't make me drop bombs during Ramadan. Bitch, don't make me drop bombs during Ramadan. They don't really want the smoke and I put that on my Quran. And Black Dollar. Y'all know what it is, family. Ramadan Mubarak to the believers. If you know, you know. Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak to the believers. If you know, you know. Salaam Alaikum to those that know. Really though. If you know, you know. Text me after Ramadan. We gonna see about it. Black Dollar Entertainment. I'm gonna play a couple more before we get up out of here. Y'all know I was gonna play some music, man. Y'all know what I do when I does what I does and how I do it, man. Hold on, let me play this one right here. YouTube short, fly right into the future. If you know, you know. If you don't, tap in, familia. I'm your favorite artist. I'm passing during Ramadan, still dropping bombs regardless. I write that God manuscript, I'm far beyond a genius. I'm flying like an eagle, fire turn me to a phoenix. Switches in my guitar case, I'm desperado ready. I keep a blade in my favorite weapon, it's a machete. I hope it's not too violent for internet policies. Might be solo dolo. Mobbing deep like Prodigy, rest in peace of Prodigy. Until Havoc, I need a beat. Smoke, it's a they call me in the streets, king of the streets, so I can never do the hats out show. Midwest spots, I feel like Gilly at the Super Bowl. Rapper sweet as candy, plays with Boulder. Salaam Alaikum, Gilly. With purple haze, moving child like Jimmy Hendrix. Black Dollar street scholars, cowards scared to mention us. Cowards rather get their attention up than they business up. Laughing like a joke, the pocket screen as a rhythm up. Don't compare this MC to a rapper, we not similar. Showed you what my vision was and told you what my mission was. Real recognized, real, you still look up familiar. Black Dollar, familiar. Family, that's all I see. You know we the most over breed, whole nother pedigree. Fly right into the future, catch a flight with me. You don't gotta pay for first class, this UFO is free. Space shit, music on beats. Mother play melodies. Black George Jets in the cosmos is the LOD. Heard they wanna murder the king. I'm on the balcony. Just know my thinking faculties produce alchemy. They be walking smoking till they need a pyromania. Then they wave that white flag. What part of the game is that? Easy, I leave it's no mystery in my history. I don't do it for the views. I'm creating memories. Black Dollar, holla. Catch me after Ramadan. You feel me? I'm gonna play one more and then we out of here. Y'all know we've been tapped in all year, you feel me? I've been doing these uploads. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting too. You know what I'm saying? The twos and fews, it make a big difference. You already know what it do. And one of the most acclaimed of the songs I did, you feel me, on the freebie side is a record I did on that She Loves Me Not joint. In fact, I think this probably got the most traction and did the most numbers out of anything I did so far in 2025. So without further ado, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all might have heard it, but for the rest of y'all that haven't, I call this 90s R&B. Soon as I get home, ET mix, that classic Faith Evans sample. Y'all know the vibes. Man. Woo! Love
love you, Habiba. Really though. You know it's Black Dollar. Y'all know I got the pick with the Afro fist. So round and round we go. Every day is Christmas and we live under that mistletoe. And baby girl is down the rise. When she remind me of baby that is back in 95. Good sex on a great day. We let the sleepers play. Bad days we having makeup sex to try to ease the pain. It's all the same. Either way we let the roller coaster flip. Real life come with drama and the plot comes with a twist. I'll be rolling up that every day. I gotta reminisce. So play my fingertips to rest her flesh. That's some crazy be trying to keep it down. You know we wake the neighbors up. Save for all the flavor that fill her up like my favorite cup. Run it over from this downpour that's building up. You know I can't make this feel a rush every time we come. You would think I'm saving up the way I just invest in her. She's the prototype, no replicas. She want me to go home like the hood I'm from, like the hood I'm from. Baby, bring it home. You the reason for the season. I don't wanna let you go. You the reason why I'm writing poems and I'm singing songs. She want me to go home like the hood I'm from, like the hood I'm from. Baby, it's here for you. You need clarity. You know I make it clear for you just to show you that I care for you. Be obliged if you step inside. Word is fine. Come and get what you've been missing. On my 8-ball at MJG, that space age pimping. Amazing how I amaze women and fade women. But she is my co-pilot. She be with me spaceshipping. She flying in on life course. I told her bring it home. Call her my Muslim more. No, she can't leave me long. She got me in passion mode. Like when I'm on the mic. Let her rock the mic. Off the head, just like she singing songs. Screaming like a ring in the morning. Hitting Mariah notes. Maybe riveting. Girl, loving you is all I want. You know that's my specialty, and I do it exceptionally. Chef's kiss, especially when you cooking a recipe. Shoot the club up. No Diddy or Jenny from the block. Hold the legs up. Go in and out while I let her watch. That was too much info. I know something I do a lot. Here's a little info to go. I'm missing you a lot. Black Dollar Entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. They call me E.T. Ali, a.k.a. Mr. Muta Ali, b.k.a. Big Muta Ali. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me for these superior facts. Ramadan Mubarak and Salaam Alaikum. We gonna leave it at that. Catch me up to Ramadan, you feel me?